households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, we'll not carry coals.
No, then we should be colliers.
On thee, even me being Kohler, will draw.
William lived right neck out of the collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou not quickly move to strike.
A dog of the house Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague.
That chose thee for a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
True, therefore women being the weaker vessels are with thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maids to the wall.
The quarrel between our master and us, their men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I fought with the men, I will be civil with the maids. I will cut up their heads.
The heads of the maids.
Aye, the heads of maids, or their maiden heads, taken in what sense thou wilt.
But taken what sense that feel it.
He shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis well thou art not fish, and thou hast been poor John. Draw thy tool, we will show the house of Montague.
My naked weapons out! Quarrel! I will back.
How, turn thy back and run?
Fear me not.
No, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
I'll frown as I pass by and take it as they dare it.
Nay, if they dare, I will bite my thumb at them. Which is a disgrace to them, if they dare it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side, if I say I?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you. My thumb at you, sir. But I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir? Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better, here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw! If you be men. Gregory, remember that swashing me.
That fool of the sword. This is not what you do.
What art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death!
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, manage to part these men.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word. They hate hell, all Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward! Club, field, and partisan, strike! Beat them down! Down with the Capulets! Down with the Montagues!
What noise is this? Give me that long sword, go!
These fucking press will call you their sword!
The sword, I say. Old Montague is coming forward with his blade and spiking me.
Rebel Capulets, hold me not! Let me go!
Shall not for one quick to see them foe, rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, defenders of his neighbor's king and steel. Will they not hear? One home, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage, with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture from your bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, to hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls bred of an area shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon, to know our further pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Who set this ancient quarrel on the road? Speaking at me, were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours, close fighting ere these approach. And you depart them in the interested king, the fire provoked with the sword prepared, which, as he did defiance to my ears, he swung it about his head and cut the wings, who nothing hurt with thrall, kissed him in scorn. And while we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more and fought on party to party, till the prince came, who parted back the party.
Where is Romeo? Saw you this day? How glad I am he was not this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun threw forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where, underneath the growing sycamore that westward reacheth from the city's side, sorely walking for thy seer son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood, where I, measuring perfections by my own, being one too many by my weary self, pursued mine who were not pursuing his, and gladly turned to gladly past him.
Many a morning hath he there been seen with tears, augmenting refreshment and stew, adding to clouds more clouds with his heavy sighs. But also soon as the all-cheering sun should, in the farthest east, begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, away from the light steals home my heavy son, in private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks bar daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night, black and portentous, must this he not prove into a good counsel, green cause remove.
I no longer view no cause.
And you hear no bit nor what learn bit.
Can you approach him by any means?
Both by myself and many others, but he, his own affections counselor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself, so secret and so close, so far from having been discovered, as is the blood bit of the envious worm, ere he can spread his sweetness to air, or dedicate his beauty to the same. Could we but once learn from whence his stars grow, we would as much willingly give to us now.
See where he comes. So please, step aside, although his grievance may be much to mine.
I would thou wert so happy by that day. Come at it, until
Good morrow.
Is the day so young?
But news from nine.
I mean, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengths this Romeo's hour?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out
Of love?
of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, so tyrannous and fraught and true.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should, without eyes, see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? They tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here is much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh brawling love, oh loving hate, oh anything of nothing first created. Heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep. This is not what it is. This love I feel, that feels no love in this. The stuff does not laugh.
No, cousin, rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy departed oppression.
Why, such as love's transgression. Griefs of my own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed to more of thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add griefs to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke raised with the fumes of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed at seas, and nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else? A madness, most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my coz.
Fall, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
But I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo, he is some other where.
Tell me in sadness, was it that you love?
And what, shall I groan and tell thee?
Grown I know, but sadly tell me who.
What, bid of the sick man madness make his will, and urge ill, the word ill urge to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman,
Aim so near when I suppose you love.
a right marksman, and she is fair, I love.
A right fair mark there, cousin, soonest hit.
And in that hit you miss, she'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak, childish bow she lives unharmed. She'll not stay the siege of loving tears, nor bride the encounter of her assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint-seducing gold. She is rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies in beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will chase.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. Her beauty starred with her severity cuts beauty off at all posterity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell her now.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I can forget to think.
By giving liberty unto mine eyes, examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite and question more. These happy masks that have kissed fair ladies' brows, being black, put us in mind they hide the fair. He who is struck and blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. What doth show me a mistress who is passing fair? What doth her beauty serve, but as a note where I may read, who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctor, and I'll die in bed.
But Montague is bound as well as I, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men as old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
Saying what I have said before, my daughter is but a stranger to this world. She has not yet seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers with her in their pride, ere we may think her right to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon martyr them so early made. The earth hath stolen all my hopes but she, for she is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her fair, scatter her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she has agreed within her scope of choice, lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an accustomed feast, whereto I've invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store, one more most welcome, makes my number more. At my courthouse lit to behold this night, earth-treading stars breathe dark heaven light, such as do lusty young men feel when well-appareled April on the heel of limping winter treads, even such delight among fresh female buds shall you this night. Inherit in my house, here all see, and mine for most, whose marriage most shall be. Come with me. Go, Sirrah, turn about through fair Verona, find those whose names are written here, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out whose names are written here. It is written that the tailor should knittle with his yarn, the painter with his nets, and the fisher with his pencil. But I am sent to find whose names are written here, and can never find whose names are here written. I must have learned in good time.
Hut, man. One fire burns out another's burning. One's grief is lessened by another's anguish. Turn giddy and be hoped by backward turn. One desperate grief is cured by another's language. Take thou some new infection to thine eye, and rank poison of the old will die.
Your plan to leave is excellent for that.
For what, I pray thee?
For your broken shins.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented, and... God damn, good fellow.
Could be good answer, I pray. Can you read?
I am my own fortune and my misery.
You may learn by the books, but I pray. Can you read anything with me?
If I know the letter and the language.
Can you say honestly? What's your marriage?
Say, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, County and Selme, his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Retruvio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, my good uncle Capulet and his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Valencio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up.
Whither?
To supper to our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
No, I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if you not leave the house of Montagues, I pray, uncrush your cousin's wife, Mr. Mary.
At this same ancient feast of Capulet, such the fair Rosaline thou so loves, and all the admired beauties of Rome. Go thither, and with untasted eyes, compare her face to some that I shall show, and I will make you think thy swan. So,
If the devout religion of mine eye maintains such falsehood, turns tears to fires, those who often drown should never die. Transparent heretics be burned for liars. But one fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun hath ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
tut, you saw her fair, none else being by herself, poised with herself within either eye. But in those crystal scales of every way, your lady's love reacts some other man, that I will show you shining at their feet. She shall scant your well, but now seems best.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth me.
Now, by my maidenhead, at 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb, what ladybird, God forbid, where is this girl? What Juliet? Come now, who calls? Your mother. Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, do leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou heardst our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She is not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth, and yet, to my teen be it spoken, I have but 4. She is not yet 14. How long is it now till Lammastide?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd, of all the days of the year, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But, as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Of all the days of the year, upon that day, for I have then laid wormwood to my dove, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall, my lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear the rain. But, as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dove, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dove. Shake, quoth the dove house. 'Twas no need, I trow, to bid me trudge. And since that time, it is 11 years. For she could stand high lone, nay, by the rood she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before, she broke her brow, and my husband, God be with his soul, 'twas a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. And by my holiday, the pretty wretch left crying, and said, I, to see now how a jest should come back. And I warned I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget. Wilt thou not, Jewel, and pretty fool, it stinted and said, I.
Enough of this, I pray thee. Hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. And yet, I cannot choose but laugh, to think it should be crying, and say I, and yet I warned backward, it had upon his brow a bump as big as a young cockerel's stone, a perilous noun, and it cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, fall'st upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou comest of age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? It stinted and said, I.
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace, I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I should live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Married. Marry is the very theme I keep to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor I dream not of.
An honor. Were not I thine only nurse, I'd say thou hadst sucked wisdom from thy teat.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, it was your mother which upon these years that you are now made. This then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady, such a man as all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love these gentlemen? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight up there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content. And what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margins of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him, only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and 'tis much pride for fair without the fair within to hide. That wicked many's eyes doth share the glory that in gold clasped logs in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possesses, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less. Nay, bigger women grow by now.
Speak briefly. Can you like a person's love?
I'll look to like if looking like he move, but no more will I endart my eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guest is served. You called. My young lady asked for the nurse cursed in the pantry and everything in extremity. Must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight. We follow thee, Juliet. He comes, he says.
Go, girls, seek happy nights to happy days.
Shall this speech be spoke for our excuse, or shall we on without apology?
The date is out of such prolixity. Will of no Cupid hoodwinked with a scarf bearing a Tartar painted gold black, scaring the ladies like a crow. Nor no, without both prologue, Peyton spoke after his prompter for him. Let them measure say what they will, we'll measure them measure and gone.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance!
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar from above the common bound.
I am to soar and pierce with their light feathers, to soar with them. And so bound, I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden I do sink.
And to sink in it should you birds in love. Too great oppression for a tender sin.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous. It pricks like thorn.
And if love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking and you'll beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in, a visor for a visor. What care I what curious eye does coat deformities? Here are the beetle brows shall blush for me.
Come, knocking dead for no sooner end, but every man to take him to his life.
A torch for me. That wanton's light apart tickle the sense of rushes with their heels. For I am proverb with a grandsire phrase. Let me be a candle holder. And so look, the game was near so fair, and I am done.
Tut! Done's a mouse, the constable's own word. If thou art done, will draw thee from the mire, or save your reverence love, or thou sticks up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight, oh!
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay. We waste our our lights in vain, like lights by day, take our good meaning for our judgment sits. 5 times in that air, once in our fine wits.
And we mean well by going to this mass, but 'tis no way to go.
Why? Anyone ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I!
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh. Then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is a fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spinner's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider's web, her collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket bone, the lash of film, her wagoner small, gray-coated gnat, not half so big as a round of a worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner's squirrel or old grub, time out of mind the fairy's coachmakers, and in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. On courtiers' knees a dream on curtsy straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream. Which all thing are mad as blisters play, because their breasts sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes he gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out suit. And sometimes comes she of a tied pig's tail, till a parson's nose lies asleep. Then he dreams of another benefice. Sometimes he drives o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches, ambuscados, Spanish blades of health, 5 foot deep, and then on. The drums in his ear, but starts to wake to be in the fright, twice a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very mouth that plats the man's horses in the night, and bakes the outflocks in foul/hairs, which once entangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag when maids lie on their backs, that presses them, and learns the first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is shame!
Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkst of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, beguiled and nesting with vain fantasy, which is sin of substance as the air and morn, constant the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom and north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning aside to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars, shall bitterly begin this fearful day, but this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast, and a vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course directs my sail. On, lusty gentlemen.
Where's Pop Pen that he was not to take away? Trifter trencher, he's scraper trencher. Good manners shall lie all in 1 or 2 men's hands. They can wash too. It's a foul thing. Away with the joint stools, remove the court cupboards, and if thou loves me, tell the porter to let in Susan Grindstone and now. Antony and Pop Pen! Aye, boy, ready. You were looked for and called for, asked for and sought for in the great chamber.
We cannot be here and there too. Cheerly, boys, be brisk a while, and longer liver take all.
Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will walk about with you. She that makes dainties, she I'll swear hath corns. Ah, welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and toe, whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please, and 'tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. Come, musicians, play. Make room and put it, girls. More light you made to turn the tables up and quench the fire. The room has grown too hot. Nay sit, good cousin Capulet, for you and I are past our dancing days. How long is it since last you and I wore a mask?
Fire lady, 30 years.
'Tis not so long, 'tis not so long. 'Tis since the nuptial of Lucentio, come Pentecost as quickly as it will, some 5-20 years and then we were masked.
'Tis more, 'tis more. His son is elder, sir. His son is 30.
Will you tell me that? The son was with a ward 2 years ago.
What lady that doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. She doth hang upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel upon an Ethiop's ear. Her beauty too rich for use, her earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows. A yonder lady o'er her fellows shows the measure done. I'll watch her place or stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. Has my heart loved till now? For swear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What dares this slave come hither, covered with an antic face to scorn, and our solemnity by the stock in honor of my kin to strike him dead? I hold it not a sin.
How now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that hither comes fate to scorn our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis that villain, Romeo!
Content thee, gentle coz. Let him alone a while. Bears him like a portly gentleman, and, to speak the truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I will not for all the wealth of the town doing disparagement here in my house. Therefore be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, the will which if you respect, you will put off these crowns and show a fair presence, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain as a guest, I'll not endure him!
He shall be endured. What, goodman boy, I say he shall. Go to, am I the master here or you? Go to, you'll not endure him. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You'll set cock-a-doodle, you'll be the man.
Why, Uncle, 'tis a shame!
Go to. You're a saucy boy. This trick may chance to save you, I know what. You must contrary me. Well said, my hearts. Be quiet. More lights, more lights. For shame, I'll make you quiet. What, cheerly, my hearts?
Patience perforce this willful meeting makes my flesh tremble in this different greeting. I will straw, but this intrusion, narrow seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall.
Chest and all this cause I spend on thee. Green sleeves was all my joy, green sleeves was my favorite. Green sleeves was my heart of gold, blue was my lady, green sleeves. If the praise were gone on part that thou my loves and she makes for guidance where my love virtue come once again by me. Green sleeves was all my love, green sleeves was my good. Green sleeves was my heart of gold, and blue was my lady, green sleeves.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin enlist, my lips, two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a gentle kiss.
Great pilgrim, you do wrong your hands too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palms of palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
I pilgrim lips they must use in prayer.
Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not when my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged.
And have my lips the sin that they have took.
O sin from thy lips, O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Kissed by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary, bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise, and virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talk withal, and I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have to chase.
Is she a Capulet? O dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away be gone, sport is after that.
Aye, so I fear the more is mine unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Mary, 'tis late. I thank you all, I thank you, honest gentlemen. More lights to my chamber, ho, all to my rest.
There's, who is young gentleman? The son and heir of old Tiberius. What's he that now is going out of door? Mary, that I think be young Petruchio.
Who that followed them that would not dance?
I don't know.
Go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen and known too late. Prodigious blood it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
Rhyme! I learn now of what I dance withal.
Anon. Come, let's away. The strangers all are gone. Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. The fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks. But to his foe supposed he must complain, and she steal love's sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers use to swear. And she, as much in love, her means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back doors and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo! Romeo!
He is wise, not my life, have stolen home to bed.
He ran this way, leapt this orchard wall, called good RomeoJuliet.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, humors, madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry, but I need, pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus, one fair word, one nickname for a purblind son heir, young Abram Cupid, he that shot so true when King Cophetua loved the beggar maid. He heareth not, he stirreth not, he moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead, her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering sigh, and the remains their adjacent lie, that in thy ladies I'll appear to us.
And if he hear me, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature laying at their stand till she had laid and conjured down. That is some spite. My invocation is fair and honest. In his mistress' name, I conjure thee but to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love can hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree and wish his mistress with that kind of fruit, as maids call medlars when they laugh alone. Oh, Romeo, that she were. Oh, that she were, and open, and set her thou upon repair. Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed's too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, such as in vain to seek him here, that means not be found.
He jested scars that never felt a wound, but saw what light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, her son, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business to entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres to let it return. What if her eye was there, they in her head? The brightness of her eye would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Her eye in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. She'd see how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head as a winged messenger from heaven, when he bestrides the lazy puffing clouds and sails upon the bosom of air.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, or refuse thy name, or thou wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? 'Tis nor arm, nor foot, nor hand, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet, so Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without the name. O Romeo, doff thy name, for that the name which is no part of thy safe self take all of me.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll new be baptized. Henceforth I will never be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus discreet night so stumblest on my counsel?
Thy name, dear saint, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
I have not jumped 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, of either thee dislike.
But how camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The house walls are high, the orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. For love does, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
They see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, therein lies more peril in thine eyes than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and thou art proof of their enmity.
And not for the world they saw thee here.
I have a knight's cloak to hide thee from their sight. But if thou love me, let them find me here. My life was better ended by their hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
By whose directions foundst thou out this place?
By love, which first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I am no pilot, yes, but wert thou as far as the vast shore mixed with the furthest sea, I would adventure for such merchandise.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would have made him blush beneath my cheek for what thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. But yet if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. At lovers' perjuries they sage o' glass. O Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, say thou but aye, and I'll be perverse and say thee nay, and thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am fairly won, for what thou hast heard me speak tonight ere I was ware, but my true love's passions. Therefore, pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love which the dark night hath so discovering.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear, that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry.
If
and
my
I will
heart's dear love.
Oh, do not swear at all. Although I join thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love, with summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Sweet good night. Is that heart within my breast come to thy heart?
Or wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I did give it that before thou didst request it, and yet I wouldn't were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
For to be frank and give it thee again. My love is as boundless as the sea, my bounty is deep. The more I have, the more I give to thee, for both are infinite.
Juliet!
I hear some noise within. Sweet love, adieu. Anon withers. Sweet love, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
O blessed night, I am afeard, being in night, that all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
Dear love, 3 words and good night. If thou dost pronounce faithfully, and thou beest true, send word tomorrow, by one I'll procure to come to thee. And where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and at thy feet my fortunes I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
Why, anon I come. But if thou dost mean well, not mean well, I beg thee, cease thy suit.
Madam!
By and by I come, and leave me to my grief.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worst to want thy love. Love goes from love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Hist, Romeo, hist. Oh, for Falconer's voice to lure this castle gentle back again. Vantage is coarse, but it may not be spoke aloud, else would I tear the caper epilyze and make her airy tongue more hoarse with the repetition of my Romeo's name. Romeo.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. So silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo.
My dear,
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I shall do that. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgotten why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till I remember it.
I shall forget it, having thee stand there still, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
I would have thee no further than a wanton bird who, like a twisted prisoner, hops a little from her hand and plucks it back with a silk thread.
I would I were that bird.
Sweet so would I, yet I would kill thee with much cherishing. Sweet good night. Parting such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace be in thy breast. But I were sleep in peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly friar's closed cell, his help to crave and my dear have to tell.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. And flecked darkness like a drunkard reels from fourth day's path and tightens fiery wheels. Now ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must fill his osier cage of hours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. The earth that's nature's mother is her tomb, is her burying grave that is her womb. And from her womb children of divers kind, who something on her natural bosom find, many for many virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good but strayed from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue turns itself vice, being misapplied, in vice sometime by action dignified. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. For this, being smelt without heart, choose each part, being tasted, slice all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as herbs, grace, and brute will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow, father.
Benedicite, what early tongue so soon saluteth me? Soundstein, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps itself watch in every old man's eye, where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch his limbs, there bulleth sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art aroused with some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right, our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God, pardon, sin, wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no, I have forgot that name, and that name's Woe.
That's my good son, but where hast thou been then?
I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me. That's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be's plain, good son, and homely in thy drift, riddling confession finds, but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet, and mine on hers, and hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. Where and when and how we meet, we wooed, we made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, who thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. How much salt water thrown away and waste to season love that of it doth not taste. The sun, yet not thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans yet ring in my ancient ears. Love, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidst me oft for loving Rosaline,
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
and badst me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, young weaver, come go with me, and one respect all thy assisted be. For this alliance may so happy prove to her your house's rank for pure love.
Let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Where's the devil's Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's, I spoke with his man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline torments him so he'll sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, has sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer to the letter's master how he dared being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo! He is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot to the ear of the love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bow-boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he's a courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion. Rest me his minimum rest. 1, 2, and a third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. Ah, the immortal passado, the punto reverso, the hey!
The what?
The pops of such antic lisping, affecting fantasticos, these new tiers of accents. By Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why, is solemn sing grandsire, them should be thus afflicted, these strange flies, these fashion mongers, these husband-in-laws who stand so much in uniform, they can't sit at ease on the old bench. Oh, their bones.
Here comes Romeo, here comes Romeo.
Vows roll like a dried herring. Flesh, how art thou fishified? Now he for numbers a Petrarch floated, lord to his lady, was but a kitchen wench. Mary, she'd a better luxury around her. Dido, a dowdy. Cleopatra, the gypsy. Helen and Hero, buildings and harlots. Cynthia, stray eye or so, but not to the purpose. Senor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slop. You gave us a kind fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
Slip, sir, slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man might strain courtesy.
That's as much as say, in case yours concerned the man to bow my hams.
A most courteous expedition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for a flower.
Right.
Why, now is my plump well flowered.
Sure, wit, follow me this jest now that I've worn out thy pump. That when the single soul is worn, the jest may remain after the wearing solely singular.
A single soul jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Oh, between us, good Benvolio, my good's fate.
Switch and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Nay, if thy wits run the wild goose chase, I have done. For thou hast more wild goose in one of thy wits, and I'm sure I would hold 5. Was I with you there for the goose?
Thou wast never there for anything if thou wast not there for the goose.
I will bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Nay, good goose, bite not.
Thy which is a very bitter sweeting is a most sharp
And
sauce.
art thou not well served into a sweet goose?
Oh, here's a bit of chevron that stretches from an inch near to an ell broad.
I'll stretch out that word broad, which added to the goose proves thee far and wide to be a broad goose.
Why, is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable. Now art thou Romeo. Now art thou what thou art by art as well as by nature. For this dribbling love is a great natural that runs long and now the highest ball in a hole.
Stop there, stop there.
Thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair.
Thou wouldst have also made thy tail large.
Oh, thou art deceived. I will make short, for I was come to the little depths of my tail, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's a goodly gear, a sail, a sail.
Two, a shirt and a small Peter.
Anon, my fan, Peter.
Good Peter to hide her face, for her fame's a fairer face.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God you good den, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good den?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the body held down upon the prick of nail.
Out upon you. What a man are you?
One gentlewoman that God hath made himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said. For himself to mar, quotha. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you first sought him. I'm the youngest of that name, for fault of worse.
You say well.
Yea, it's the worst well, very well took a thing, wisely.
If you be he, sir, I do desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to suffer.
A bond! So how?
What hast thou found?
No, hair, sir. I'll say hair, sir, and a lenten pie. That's where it's stale and horror to be spent. And old hair whore is very good and neat and lent. But a hair that's horse, so much for explore when a horse there is be spent! Romeo, we come to your father's wanted dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady.
I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his roguery?
One young gentlewoman that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And I'll speak anything against me, I'll take him down. And I were lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I will find those that shall. Scurvy knave. I am none of his skeins, mates. I am none of his flirt gills. And thou must stand by too, and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you a pleasure, for if I had, I warrant you, my sword would have quickly been out. I dare draw as soon as another man, if I see occasion and quarrel and the law on my side.
Now, afore God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave. And I pray you, sir, a word. And, as I told you, my young lady bid me inquire you out. Now, what she bid me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell you, if ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were in very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly, it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
I commend thee to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart and a faith. I will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou say to her, nurse? Thou dost not mock me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she will at Friar Lawrence cell be shrived and married. Here's for thy pains.
No, truly, sir.
Go to, I say you shall.
Well, this afternoon, sir, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within an hour my man shall be with thee, and give thee coils made of tackled stair, which, to the high-top gallant of my joy, shall be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Now God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir.
What sayest thou, my dear nurse?
Is your man secret? Did you ne'er hear say, two may keep counsel, putting one away?
I warrant thee, my man is true as steel.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Lord, when 'twas a little prating thing. Oh, there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, had as lief see a toad, a very toad, as see here. I anger her sometimes and tell her that Paris is the proper man, but I warn you, when I say so, she looks as pale as any clout in the versal world. Doth not Rosemary and Romeo begin both with a letter?
Aye, nurse, but what of that? Both with an R.
Ah, mocker, that's the dog's name. R is for the... No, I know it doth begin with some other letter. And she hath the prettiest sententious of it, of you and Rosemary, that it would do you good to hear it.
Commend me to thy lady and mistress.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter, anon, take my fan, and go before, and in haste. 'Twas 9 o'clock when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Yet she cannot meet her. 'Tis not so. She is lame. Love's heralds should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble pinion doves draw love, and therefore hath wind swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, and yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, my words would bandy her to my sweet love and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh, God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news hast thou met with it? Send thy man away. Peter, stay at the gate. Oh, now, good sweet nurse. Oh, Lord, why lookest thou so sad? Is thy news bad? If bad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing them with so sour a face. I am a weary Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunts have I had. I would thou hadst my bones and I thy food. Now good, speak, sweet nurse, speak. Jesu, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do not you see that I am out of breath? How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to tell me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale that thou dost excuse. Answer to this is good or bad. Say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is good or bad? Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, no, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, and his leg excels all men's, and for a hand, and a foot, and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
But all this I did know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I! It beats as if it would fall in 20 pieces. My back. Oh, the other side. My back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death while jouncing up and down.
Faith, I am sorry thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and all warrant of virtues. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How awfully thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
I am sorry, but tell me, what says my love?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Go, hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burthen soon at night. Go, all to dinner, hie you to the cell.
I to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough that I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their trying to die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore love moderately. Long love doth so too swift arise as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady. Oh, so light but will ne'er at the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall. So light is vanity.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
Else to him as he thinks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be born to blaze in it, then sweeten with thy breathless neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that either received by this dear encounter.
Conceit more rich in matter than in words, begs in Christ the substance, not of this ornament. Beggars should have but some of half their wealth, and my true love is grown up to such excess that I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leave, you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
I'm greatly grateful, Lucio. Let's retire. The day is hot, the Catholics abroad, definitely we shall not escape abroad. For now these hot days mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows who enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the same cup draws on the drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, come! Thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, as soon moody to be moved.
And what too?
Nay, there are two such, we shall have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou, why, thou wilt quarrel with a man that's a hair more, or hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes. What eye but such an eye would spy us the quarrel? Thy head is full of quarrels, neck is full of meat, and yet thy head would be as thou was made for quarreling. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street, because he's wakened thy dog that's laid asleep in the sun. This no fellow of a tailor for his new double before Easter, but never tie his new shoes of all ribbon. And yet thou tutor me from quarreling.
If I were to quarrel as thou wert, any man by the fee simple of my life renowned the quarter.
The fee simple, oh simple.
By my head here comes the capitalist.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, or I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good then, a word with one of you.
And with one word with one of us, couple of something, make it a word and a blow.
You will find the answer to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion about giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consort! What? Dost thou make us minstrels, and thou makes minstrel of us? Look to your nothing but discourse. Here's my fiddlestick, here's what shall make you dance. Zoons, consort.
We ought here in the public haunt of men, either withdraw into some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if he wears your livery. Mary, go before the field. He'll be your scholar, your worship. In that sense may call a man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee, for no better term than this. Thou art a villain!
Nibbles, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that haste hath done me, therefore turn and draw.
I do protest, I never injured thee, but love thee more than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, a name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm. Dishonorable, vile submission? All the staccato away! Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. That I mean to make bold of all, and as you shall use me after dry beat the rest the 8. Will you put your sword on his coat around the ears? Make haste, and mind your ears there be out.
I am for you.
Good Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your father.
Rob and Benvolio, and beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbid this brandy in Verona streets. Hold Tybalt, good Mercutio. The hurt cannot be much.
No. Where's my cage? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon! No, he's not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door. But it's enough. It'll serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a brave man. I am ever I want this world. A plague will both your houses! Zoons! A dog! A rat! A mouse! A cat! A scratch of man to pass! Ragged or rogue, a villain! A fight by the book of arithmetic! Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm!
I thought all for the best.
Help me somehow, Benvolio, or I shall faint. Plague, oh, both your houses! Give me worms, meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses!
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation slain with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, who but an hour hath been my kinsman. O sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Brave Mercutio is dead. That gallant spirit has aspired the clouds which one time appeared at scorn of earth.
On this day's black fate, more days doth depend, but begin the woes others must end it.
Here comes the furious Tool back again.
He comes in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away from heaven, respective lenity, fire and fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take back the villain that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but little above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy that didst him shorten earshot with intent.
This shall determine that.
Away be gone! The citizens are up in Tybalt slain. Stay not amazed. The prince will do thee death if thou art taken. Hence be gone, away!
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murder, which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me, I charge thee in the prince's name, obey!
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man, slain by young Romeo, that soon thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin! Oh, my brother's child! Oh, prince! Oh, cousin! Husband! Oh, the blood is spilled of my dear kinsman! Prince, as thou art true for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague!
Benvolio,
Cousin!
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, through Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo, that spoke in care, did him think how nice the quarrel was, and urged withal your high displeasure. All was uttered with gentle breath, tall look, knees humbly bowed, but could not take truce to the unruly spleen of Tybalt, death to peace. But with that he tilted up bold Mercutio's breast, who all his hot turns steadily point to point, and with a martial scorn, with one hand each cold touch his side, and with the other sends it back at Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, hold friends, friends, part, and with swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hits the lightning stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled, but by and by comes back to Romeo, to newly entertained revenge, and to it they go like lightning, for I could try to stop them. Was stout Tybalt slain, and as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montagues. Affection makes him false, he speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all those 20 did but kill one wife. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt, Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. This fault concludes in what the law should end the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hates proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a bleeding. But I'll immerse you in so strong a fine that you shall all repent this loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses, therefore use not. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found that hour is his last. Bear hence his body, and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop of pace, your fiery-footed steeds towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Paphon would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy closed curtain, love performing night, that runaway's eyes may wink and Romeo leap to these arms untalked of and unseen. Come, civil night, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, learn me how to lose a winning match played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Put my unmanned blood bathing in my sheets with thy black mantle, till strange love grown bold through true love acted simple modesty. Come night, come Romeo, come thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in stars, and he shall make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have got a mention of a love and not possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. How tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. Here comes my new nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks for Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? Hast thou there the cords that Romeo did bid thee fetch?
Aye, the cords.
Ay, me, what news? Why lookest thou so sad?
Alas, the day. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. Alas, the day. He's gone, he's killed, he's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo! Romeo, whoever would have thought it, Romeo?
What devil art thou that dost torment me this? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, and that fair foul eye shall poison more than the death-darting eye of a cockatrice. I am not I, if there be such an eye, or those eyes that shut that make thee answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine my weal or woe.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark here on his manly breast. course. A bloody, piteous corse, pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all in gore blood. I swooned at the sight.
Oh, poor bankrupt, breaketh once to eyes, and their look on liberty, vile earth to earth resigned, and pressed down, Romeo shall press one heavy bier.
Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What sound is this? Is Romeo dead and is Tybalt slain, my dear loved cousin and my dearer lord? Then trumpets sound the general doom, for who is living if these two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did, alas the day, it did.
Oh, serpent heart, hid with a flowering face, did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Oh, beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, despised substance of divinest show, just opposite of what thou justly seemed. Oh, nature, what hast thou to do in hell when thou didst devour the spirit of a fiend in such mortal flesh of mortal paradise? Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Did deceit dwell in such gorgeous a palace?
There is no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Where is my man? Give me some aqua vitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned the sole monarch of universal earth. But what a beast was I to chide at him?
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? Wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring, which your tributary drops belong to woe, which you mistakenly offer up to joy. Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband, and my husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain. All this is comfort, yet wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death, that murdered me. I forget it fain, but presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to a sinner's mind. Tybalt's dead, and Romeo banished. That banished, that one word banished, hath slain Tybalt's 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or if sour woe needly be ranked with other griefs. Why not when she said Tybalt's dead? Why, thy mother or thy father, yea, or both, which modern lamentation might have moved. But with the rearward following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished and hath slain my father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. Where is my father and my mother?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they smooth with tears? Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords. Poor Rose, you are beguiled. Hope you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed, but I, a maiden, died, maiden, widowed. Come, cords, come, nurse, both you and I, to my maiden bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie you to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I walk well to where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. I'll to him, for he is hid at Florence cell.
Oh, give this ring to my true knight, and make him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of the parts and thou wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company.
I bring thee tidings of prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment. Be merciful, say death. For exile hath more terror in his looks. Much more than death, do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona's walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Calling death banished, thou cutt'st my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
Oh, deadly sin, oh, rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince taking thy part hath brushed aside the law, and turned that blackbird death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture, not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives. Every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look on her. But Romeo cannot. More ability, more honorable state, more courtship lives and carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize upon the bright wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessings from her lips. But even in pure vestal modesty, still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hast thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden means of death, but banished to kill me? Banished? Oh, friar, the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it. How hast thou the heart? Being divine, a ghostly connoisseur, a sin absolver, and my friend profess to mangle me without word banished.
Thou fond madman, hear me a little speak.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word, adversity, sweet milk, philosophy to comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Yet banished, hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make Juliet displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not, talk no more.
Oh, then I see madmen have no ears.
How should they when wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of what thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me and like me banished. Then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, why not? Good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I, unless breath of heart seek for groans, dislike enfold me from the search of eyes.
Hark, how they knock? Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while, stand up. Run to my study. Find by God's will, what sinfulness is this? I come. Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will?
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Oh, holy friar, oh, tell me, holy friar, where is my lady's lord? Where is Romeo?
There on the ground for some tears and he drunk.
Oh, he is even in my mistress' case, just in her case. Oh, woeful sympathy, piteous predicament. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand, and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep an O?
Nurse.
Ah, sir, death's the end of all.
Speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Doth she not think me an old murderer, now that I have stained the childhood of her joy with blood removed but little from her own? How is she, and how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of the gun, did murder her, and that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me, that I might sack this hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art, thy tears are womanish, thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman in a seeming man, or ill-beseeming beast in seeming both. Thou hast amazed me, by my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself, and slay thy lady that in thy life lives, by doing damned and hate upon thyself? Why railst thou against thy birth, the heavens and earth, since birth and heavens and earth, all three do meet in thee at once, which thou once wouldst lose? Fie, thou shades, thy shape, thy love, thy wit, which like a usurer aboundest in all, and usest none in that true use indeed, which should bedeck thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy noble shape is but a form in wax, depressing from the valor of a man. Thy dear love sworn, but hollow perjury, killing that love which thou hast vowed to cherish. Thy wit, that ornament to shape in love, misshapen in the conduct of them both. Like powder in a skilless soldier's flask is set afire by thine own ignorance. Thou dismembered with thine own defense. What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, of whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would have killed thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou puttest up thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber hence, and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 1,000 times more joy than when thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed. Heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you are coming.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, sir, a ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
Go hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by break of day disguised from that sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap that chances to you here. Give me thy hand, 'tis late. Farewell, good night.
But that a joy past joy calls on me. It were a grief, so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have not had time to move our comfort. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. We were going to dine. It's very late, and I promise you she'll not be down tonight. But for your company, I would have been in bed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no time to move. Imagine good night, commend me to them.
I will, and they'll remind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mute up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think it will be ruled in all respects by me, nay more, I doubt it not. Why, leave to Juliet ere you go to bed. Acquaint her with my son Paris's love, and bid her mark you me on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday is too soon. On Thursday, let us be. On Thursday, tell her she will be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? He'll like this haste. We'll keep no great to do. A friend or two, for, hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, she may be caught guilty carelessly be our kinsman of beautiful much. Therefore, we'll have half a dozen friends in their name. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
We'll get you gone. A Thursday be it then. Quite. Look to Juliet ere you go to bed. I'll chat with the county. It is so very late that we may call it early by and by.
Thou needst not be gone. It was the nightingale, not the lark, which hears the fearful hollow in thine ear. At least she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, with envious streaks do lace the clouds of yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and Jock and Day stand tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it It is some meteor the sun exhales, to be this night the torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua.
It was the lark. Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content, so wilt thou have it so. I'll say yon grays, not the morning's eye, 'tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. And that is not the lark, whose notes do streak the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. But I've more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome, Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. I hence be gone and pay. It was the lark that sung so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and the loathed toad change eyes. Now I would they change voices too, since arm from arm that voice doth us affray, hunting we hence with hunts up to the day. Now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse?
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be weary. Look about.
In the window, let day in and let light out.
Farewell. One kiss and I will descend.
Wilt thou be gone? Love, Lord, I husband, friend, thou needst not be gone. I must hear from thee every minute in the day, for in a day there are many hours.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love to thee.
Thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, but all these woes shall serve as sweet discourses in our time to come.
God, I have an ill-devised soul. Methinks I see thee, now thou art below, as dead in the bottom of a tomb.
And trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Fortune, fortune. Many men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Hello, doctor, are you up?
Oh no, is my lady mother? Is she not down so early or up so late? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Have no more weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live, therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet feeling so lost, let me choose but weep the friend.
Feeling so... I cannot... So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for?
Feeling so lost, I cannot choose, and let me be to my grief.
Velma?
Feeling so lost, I cannot choose but weep the friend.
Well, girl, though weepest not so much for his death as that the villain lives would slaughter him.
What villain, madam?
The same villain, Romeo.
Villain, if he be many miles asunder. God pardon him. I know I do with all my heart, yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
I villain, and he be many miles asunder. Oh, but none but I might wreck the love that I did bear my cousin upon his body that killed him.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
Oh, and joy from such Well, at such needy times, I pray thee, what news is this?
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one whose put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expectest not nor looked not for.
What is this, madam? I beseech your ladyship.
Mary, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the county peers at St. Peter's Church shall happily make thee their joyful bride.
By St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me their joyful bride. I wonder at this haste ere he that should be my husband comes to woo. Madam, tell my lord and father I will not be married, and when I do it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. This is some news indeed.
Here comes your father, tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle dew, but with the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. How now, a conduit girl, why still in tears, evermore showering, and one little body thou counterfeit'st the barkest thee a wind, for thy eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark thy body is sailing in the self flood, the wind thy sighs do raging with thy tears, and they with them do overset thy tempest tossed body. How now, wife? Have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will not. She gives you thanks. I will deplore Mary to her grave.
How now, wife? How will she not? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed that unworthy as she is, we have brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now, chop logic, what is this? Proud, and I thank you, and yet I thank you not, and yet not proud. Mistress meaning you, thank me, no thank you, so proud, you know, proud. Look for your fine joints against Thursday next to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out you green sickness carry on, out you baggage, you tallow-face.
Why, what, are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I'll tell thee what, get thee to church at Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. Fingers itch, wife. We scarce let us bless that God had lent us this only child. For now this one is one too many, and we have a curse in having her. Out on her hill.
Now God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady wisdom? Good prudence smatter with your gossip so.
I speak no treason.
Oh, God ye goddamn.
May not one speak.
Peace, you mumbling fool. Underground you are a gossip's bull, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
God's verdict makes me mad. Day, night, hour, time, tide, work, play. Alone in company, and still my character to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair domains, nobly trained, youthful, stocked, as they say, with honorable parts. And then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammoth in her fortune sender to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I pray you, pardon me, but, and she'll not wed, I'll pardon you. Grace you where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it, I do not jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart advise, and you be mine, I'll give you to my friend, and you be not. Aim, beg, starve, die in the streets, for I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine can never do thee good. I'll not be forsworn.
Is there pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage a month, a week, for if thou wilt not, make this bridal bed in the dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
God. Oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth, unless the husband sendeth me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, that heaven should practice such stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. Hast thou no word of joy, some comforts? Nurse! Faith, here it is.
avenged, and all the world to nothing, that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you. Or, if he do it, needs must be by stealth. Then, so stands the case as now it doth. I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish-clout to an eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris had. And shrew my very heart, I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first. Or, if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good he were as living here, and you no use of him. Speakest thou from thy heart, and from my soul too, or else be shew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady mother I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence's cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will, and this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation, almost wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which you have praised him with beyond compare so many thousand times? Go, henceforth, thou and my bosom shall be twain. Call to the friar to know his remedy. All else fails, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir, the time is very short. My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste. You say you do not know the lady's mind, uneven is the course, I like it not. In moderately she weeps, but instead, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, if all becomes dangerous, that you don't give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be slowed.
Look, sir, here comes the lady towards myself. Happily met, my lady and my wife.
May be so, and I may be a wife.
Then maybe must be love on Thursday next.
Must be, shall be.
That's a certain text. Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
You do not deny to him that you love me.
I will, to say that, I'll more confession to him.
So will ye. Yes, so will ye. I am sure that you love me.
When I say that, may be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
Your tears have saw victory in that, being before it was bad enough, before their spite.
Thou wrongest it more than tears by that report.
That may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, holy friar, now? Or shall I come to your evening mass?
My leisure serves thee, pensive daughter, now.
My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield us to this good devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse thee. Until then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
God, shut the door, and once thou hast done so, come weep with me, past hope, past cure, past help.
Ah, Juliet, I already know thy grief, it strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, in nothing, rank RomeoJuliet, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give me no remedy, do thou but call my resolution rise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God join my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands, and by this hand ere thee to Romeo's sealed shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous revolt turned to another, this shall slay them both. So if in thy counsel thou canst give me no help, behold my extremes, and twixt this and thee and this bloody knife shall play the umpire, arbitrating that which in thy long years of true commission to no issue of true honor bring. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. If thou speakest, speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope which craves as desperate as an
as it is desperate, that we would prevent. If rather than to marry County Paris thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death, to chide away the shame that hope possessed himself to escape from it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Bid me leap rather than marry Paris off the battlements of any tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are, chain me with roaring bears, or shut me nightly in a charnel house, or covered quite with yellow chapel skulls, with reeky shanks and shattering bones, or hide me in a new-made shroud with a dead man, things that to hear them told have made me tremble, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained life to my sweet love.
Hold then, go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night look thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor. For no pulse shall keep his native progress but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade, thy eyes' windows shut like death, when he shuts up the day of life. Each part deprived of supple government shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death thou shalt remain for 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now in the morning when thy bridegroom comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. Meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift. And hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking. And that very night shall Romeo bear thee to Mantua, and this shall free thee from his present shame, if no constant toy nor womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it.
Oh God, tell me not of fear.
Well then, get you gone, be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
She'll give me strength and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear friar.
So many guests invited. His name's here are rich. Go, Sirrah, and hire me 20 penningrams.
Ye shall have none ill, sir, for all try, if they can lift their fingers.
How canst thou try them so?
Marry, sir, 'tis its ill cook that cannot lift his fingers, and he who cannot lift his fingers must not lift me.
Go, be gone. Shall be much unfurnished in this time. What, is my daughter gone to fire lords?
Aye, forsooth.
Get a chance to do some good on her. Thievish, self-willful harlotry it is.
See where she comes from shrift with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadded?
Where I've learned disobedient opposition and to repent the sin, to your behest and been joined by holy lords to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you, henceforth I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. All this not knit up in the morning.
I met the Lord at Lawrence's cell and gave him what would come in love I might not step over the bounds of modesty.
Why, I'm glad on it. This is well, as that should be. Stand up. Send for the county. Afore God, in the face of our reverend holy friar, our city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to sort such needful ordinance as you think fit to, or who will be tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There's time enough.
Go with us. Go to church tomorrow.
Please have you showed enough for bishop. This is now your night.
So shall serve out and all shall be well. I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet. Go and trim her up. I'll walk myself to the county and play the housewife for this once. My heart is wondrous light, and this same wayward girl is so like.
Aye, there's a tired, sir, best, but I pray thee, gentle nurse, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many a rising to move heaven to smile upon my state, which, well, thou knowest, is cross and full of sin.
What? Are you busy home? Need you my help?
No, madam, we have called such necessaries as are behooving for our state tomorrow. Now, please, let me be left alone this night, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full on this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed, for thou hast need.
Farewell. Who knows when we shall meet again? I have a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins, and almost freezes out the heat of life. I shall call him back to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? This dismal scenes I needs must act alone. Come, Vile. What if this mixture do not work? Shall I then be married there tomorrow? No. This shall prevent it. Lie thou there. What if this be a poison which the friar subtly administered to make me this night, lest to leave me, with the friar subtly administered to leave me this night dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored as he married me before to Romeo. I fear it is, yet methinks it should not be, for it's still been tried a holy man. Well, how if when I am laid into the tomb I wait before the time that Romeo comes to redeem me? This is a fearful thought. Shall I not then be stifled in the mouth to whose foul mouth no wholesome air breathes in, and lie strangled? Or, if I live, is it not very like the horrible conceit of death and night, as if the terror of the place, an ancient vault, an ancient receptacle? Or, if waking, when I am environed with all those hideous fears, as where my ancient forefathers are so packed for Tybalt, yet the green and earth lies bloody in his shroud. Shall I not there be run mad? As shrieking mandrakes, which they say, hearing them, living mortals run mad, environed with all of this, as with and pluck the bones of my great forefathers as with a club and dash out my desperate brains? Oh, Lord, methinks I see my cousin's ghost. Now, seeking out Romeo. Oh, who spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Oh, Romeo, I come to thee. This do I drink to thee.
Fools, take these keys and fetch more spices, nurse.
They call for dates and quinces in the pastry.
Come, stir, stir. The second cock hath crowed, the curfew bell hath rung. Look to the baked meats good and shall done. Spare not for cause.
Go, you cock queen, go, get you to bed. You'll be sick tomorrow for this night's watching.
Out of wit. What? I have stayed out here all night for lesser cause and are but sick.
You have been announced at dinner time, but I will watch you from such watchings now.
A jealous hood, a jealous hood. Now, fellow, what is there?
Thanks for the cook, sir, but I know not what.
Make haste, make haste. Go fetch drier logs. Call Peter, he will tell you where they are.
I have a head that can find out logs, and will never trouble Peter for the matter.
Mass and well said. A merry poor son, huh? Thou shalt see loggerhead. Buried this day. Music straight. It's set in wood. I hear him near. Nurse, wife, what nurse I say? Go and waken Juliet. Go and trim her up. I'll go and shackle the county. Make haste, the bridegroom, he's here already. Make haste, I say.
Mistress! What? Mistress! Juliet! Fast I warned her she. Why, lamb! Why, lady! Fie, you slugger bed, what love, I say! Madam! Sweetheart! Why, bride! What? Not a word. Here, take your pennyworths now. Sleep for a week, For the next night, I warrant, the county Paris hath set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. God forgive me. Marian, man, how sound is she asleep? I must needs wake her. Madam! 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 Aye, let the county take you on your bed, no fright you of a fate. Will it not be? What? Dressed? And in your clothes, and down again? I must needs wake you. Oh, lady, 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 alas, alas. Help! Help, my lady's dead. Oh, well, the day that ever I was born, some aqua vitae. Oh, my lord, my lady!
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable day.
What's the matter?
Look, look, oh, heavy day.
Oh me, my child, my only life. Revive, look up, or I will die with thee. Help, 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 help!
For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
She's dead. Deceased, she's dead. Alack the day.
Alack the day, she's dead, she's dead, she's dead!
Let me see her out. She's cold. Her blood has settled. Her joints have stiffened. Like these lips have long been separated. Death lies upon her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower in all the field.
Oh, lamentable day.
Woeful time.
Death that hath ta'en her hence to make me wail ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. My son, the night before thy wedding day, death hath lain with thy wife. There she lies, flowered as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law, death is my heir. All that I left, life, living, lived, all is death's.
I thought long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day! Most miserable hour that ever time saw in lasting labor of his pilgrimage. For one poor unloving child. One thing to rejoice and solace in, and cruel death has catched it from my sight.
Oh, woe. Oh, woeful, woeful, woeful day. Most lamentable day, most woeful day that ever I did yet behold. Oh, day. Oh, day, oh, hateful day. Never was seen so black a day as this. Oh, woeful day, oh, woeful day.
Child, divorced, bonny, and spited slave, most detestable death by thee beguiled. Thy cruel cruelty quite overthrown. O love, O life, not life, but love in death.
Despised, distressed, hated, martyred, killed. Oh, comfortable time, why canst thou to murder our solemnity? My child, my soul, but not my child. Dead art thou. Alack, my child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Peace, home, for shame, confusions, care lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid, now heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Your part in her you could not keep from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you saw was her promotion, but 'twas your heaven she should be advanced. And weep ye now, seeing that she is advanced above the clouds as high as heaven itself? Oh, in this love you love your child so ill that you are mad, seeing that she is well. She's not well married that lives married long, but she's best married that dies married young. Dry up your tears and stick your rosemary on this fair corse, and as the custom is, and in your best array, bear her to church. For though fond nature bids us all lament, yet nature's tears are reason of merriment.
All things that you ordained festival turn from their office to black funeral, and our instruments to melancholy bells. Our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast, our solemn hymns to sullen dirges change. and our bridal flowers to serve for a very course. And all things change from them to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam, go with him. And you, Sir Paris, everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill, move them no more by crossing their high will.
We may put up our pipes and be gone.
Honest good fellows, put up. For well you know this is a pitiful case.
Aye, by my troth, the case may be amended.
Oh, musicians, play heart's ease. Oh, and you will have me live. Play heart's ease.
Why heart's ease?
Oh, musicians, because my heart itself plays my heart's ease. Oh, play heart's ease, and you will have me live.
Not a dumb weed. 'Tis no time to play now.
You will not then?
No.
Then I will give it to you soundly.
What will you give us?
No money on my faith, but the cleek. I will give you the minstrel.
Then I will give you the servant creature.
Then I'll lay the servant's creature dagger on your pate. I'll rake you. I'll fy you. Do you note me?
And you ray us and fuss, you note us.
I pray you, put up your dagger and put out your bed.
Have at me with your wit. I will dry beat you with my iron wit and put up my iron dagger. Answer me like men. When grabbing creep the heart of the moon, the music with her silver sound. Why silver sound? Why music with her silver sound? What say you, Simon Catling?
Marry, sir, because silver hath a sweet sound.
Crates. What say you, Hugh Rebeck?
I say silver sound, musician sound. Silver.
Crates too. What say you, James Soundpost?
Soundly, I know not what to say.
You are the singer. I will say for you. It is music with a silver sound because musicians have no sound, but it has no gold for sounding. Wouldst me help them? Yes.
What a pestilent knave is this same.
Hang him, Jack. Come, one here, and carry to the one that's stay there.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom Lord sits lightly on his throne, and all this day an accustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. A strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathes such life with kisses in his lips that I revive, as was my emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when love's shadow is but rich in joy. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou bring me letters from the friar? How is my lady? Is my father well? How fares my lady Juliet? That I'll ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capitol's monument, with her immortal heart with angels lives. I saw her lid blow and her fingers fall, and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you ever leave it for my office, sir.
Is't e'en so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Give me ink and paper and hire some post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and import some misadventure.
Hush, thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. I saw no letters to me from the friar.
No, my good lord.
'Tis no matter. Get thee gone, and I will be with thee straight. Juliet, I will lie with thee again tonight. Let's see her means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, here about at Wells, which late I noted in tattered weeds, with overwhelming brows, culling of simples. Meager were his looks, sharp mischief had worn him to the bones. And in his shop a tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes. And about his shelves was a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders, and cakes of roses, remnants of packed threads and musty seeds, thinly scattered to make up a show. Noting his penury, to myself I said, if the man was in need of poison, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives an old caitiff wretch that might sell it him. This same thought did forerun my need, and this same man will sell it to me. As I remember, this should be the shop. Being holy day, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho! Apothecary.
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. Hold. There's 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon spreading gear that may disperse itself through all the veins, and the life-weary taker may fall dead as quickly as the hasty powdered fire doth hurry from the fatal cannon's wound.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks, need and oppression starveth within thine eyes. Contempt and beggary hang upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Therefore be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you the strength of 20 men, it dispatch you straight.
Here is thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls, doing murder in this loathsome world, than these poor compounds that thou mayest not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell, be gone, and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial, and not poison, go with me to Juliet's grave, where there I must use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar, Brother Ho.
This same should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or in his mighty writ, give me his letter.
Quite kind to bear but brother out, one of our order to associate me. Here in the city, visiting the sick and finding him. The searchers of the town suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign. Sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speech to Mantua was their state.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I cannot send it, here it is again, nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune, by my brotherhood, this letter was not nice, but full of charge, of dear import, and the neglecting it may do us much danger. Friar John, go hence, get me an iron crow and bring it straight into my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within these 3 hours will fair Juliet awake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corse enclosed in a dead man's tomb.
Give me thy torch, boy, hence to me. Send out. Yes, put it out, for I would not be seen under yon entrance, maybe all alone, holding thine ear close to the hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose unfurled, digging up of graves, but thou shalt hear. Whistle then to me as signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee. Go.
I am almost afraid to stand alone in the churchyard. Yet I will cheer.
Sweet flowers, the flower that right in bed I strew, oh, bold canopies, dust and stones, which sweet water nightly I will do, or wanting that tears bestowed by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep, nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep.
My lord!
The boy gives warning something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What, with the torch, muffling night awhile?
Give me the mattock and the wrenching iron. Hold, take this letter. Early in the morning you will deliver it to my Lord and Father. Give me the light. Upon my life I charge thee, whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take from her finger a precious ring, a ring I must use in dear employment. Therefore, be gone. But if thou, jealous, dost return to pride, what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. This time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea.
I will be gone, sir, not trouble ye.
Thou shalt show me friendship. Here, take thou that. Live and be prosperous. Farewell, good fellow.
For all the same, I'll hide me heard out. His looks are here and his intents I doubt.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
This that banished Montague, that murdered my love's cousin, which grief it is supposed the fair creature died, and here has come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague! Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Command, villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore I came hither. Good gentle youth, tempt me not, a desperate man. Fly hence and leave thee. Let them affright thee. By heaven, I do love thee more than myself, for I came hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter stay. A madman's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy congregations and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Oh, Lord, I fight! I will go call the watch.
Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb, then with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man, when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or I meant to think it was so, hearing him talk of Juliet. Give me thy hand. One writ in sour misfortune's book. I'll lay thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh no, a lanthorn, slaughter youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, a dead man interred. How oft when men are at the point of death have they been married? Their keepers may call this a lightning before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife. Death that hath sucked the honey from thy lips hath yet no power upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauties and signs crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in a bloody sheet? What greater favor can I do to thee than, with the hand that cut thy youth in twain, to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Ah, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and lean abhorred monsters keeps thee in the dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this place of dim light depart again. Here will I remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars with this world-weary flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, for you doors of breath, seal with the righteous kiss this dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct, come, unsavory guide, thou desperate pilot, that now at once did run upon the dashing rocks of this seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss, I die.
St. Francis be my speed, how often have my old feet stumbled at graves. Who's there?
Here's one friend and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yon that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls, as I discern it burneth in the capel's monument?
It doth so, holy sir. There's my master, one that you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long have you been there?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir. My master knows not that I am gone hence, and fearfully demands me if I did stay to look on his intents.
Stay then, I'll go alone. Fear descends upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill, unthrifty thing. Romeo! Alack, what blood is this that stains the stony entrance of the sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords to lie discolored at this place of peace? Romeo! Oh, pale, who else? What, Paris too, and steeped in blood? Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar, where is my lord? I remember well where I should be, and there I am.
I hear some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away, thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay.
Oh, get thee hence, all locked away. What this closed in my true love's hand, a cup. Poison I weep seeth, and his time was end. Nor no friendly drop there to help me after, I'll kiss thy lips. Yet maybe haply some drop hang on them that will help me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Lead, boy, which way?
Gay noise? I'll be brief. Oh happy dagger, this is thy sheath. There, rust and let me die.
Torched off her.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you. Where you find the text.
Pitiful sight. Here lies the county, slain, and Juliet, bleeding, warm, and newly killed, whom we here have lying these 2 days buried. Go tell the prince. Raise up the Montagues, run to the Capulet, some others search. We see the ground whereof these woes do lie, but the true ground we cannot pick up if we leave this circumstance described.
Here's Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard.
Hold him in safety until the prince come hither.
Here is a friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took his mattock and his spade from him as he was coming from his churchyard side.
With great suspicion, stay the friar.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning rest?
Should it be that they so shriek abroad?
The people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry towards our monument.
What fear is this who startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the county, Paris, slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here's a slaughtered Romeo's man, and a friar with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tomb.
Heavens. Wife, look, our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath misstained, for lo, our house is empty on the back of Montague, and missheathed in my daughter's bosom.
Oh me, the sight of death is as the bell that warns my old age to sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look and thou shalt see.
O thou untaught, what manner is in this to send thy father to an early grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities and know their spring, their head, their true descent. And then will I be general to your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do the least yet most suspected, as the time and place doth make against me of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say at once what thou dost know in this.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as the tedious tale. Romeo, their dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she, their dead, was Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city. For whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege and free from her betrothed, and would have married her perforce to County Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me to by some means to rid her from the second marriage, or there in my cell would she kill herself. Then I gave her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime, I writ to Romeo that he should come hither as this dire night to help to take from our borrowed grave, being the type of the potions for should seize. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then all alone at the prefixed hour of her waking came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell till Romeo come. But when I came some minute ere the time of her awakening, here timely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise had scared me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but as it seems did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy. And if aught in this be miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed an hour before its time unto the rigor of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death. Then in post he came from Monte, to this same place, to this same Monte. He early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death dying in the vault. I departed not and left him there.
Give me the letter. I will look on it. Where is the county's page? Sirrah, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to open the tomb, and by and by my master drew on him, and then I ran away to call him watch.
This letter doth make good the friar's word, the course of their love, and the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison from a poor apothecary, and came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys of love. And I, for winking at your discords to have lost a brace of kinsmen, all are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold. And whilst Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set in that triumphant to the guest.
Such as shall Romeo by his lady lie, for sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, and have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.